parlays, bro. I missed. I lost so much money. I bet 250 on his Venom win, and he let me down. I'm not gonna lie, it was a sad day Saturday. It was a sad day. My boy Canelo lost, bro. I missed my parlays, and I lost like 250. $250, bro. Down the drain.
Now, Canelo and Crawford finally just faced off.
Bro, I really thought Canelo was gonna win. Because not only was it that Crawford had more disadvantage, because Crawford was the one who was supposed to move up the weight. Canelo didn't move down. Crawford moved up for Canelo. And he destroyed Canelo. He destroyed Canelo, bro.
And what a fight it was. The almost fantasy-like matchup did come true, and we just saw two of the greatest of our time share the ring. Now, going to this fight, there were so many questions. Would Crawford adapt to the weight, and would he be able to take Canelo's power? And for Canelo, could he put on that statement performance and silence all that had criticized his last few fights? And well, we certainly got all the answers. So, I want to break down what just happened in the fight, what does this performance mean for both, and of course the question of...
Bro, Crawford really became the undisputed in 3 divisions. The first ever to do it. To be undisputed in 3 divisions. And he just... Bro... He's good. He's good for sure. But people are out here being crazy saying he's better than Mayweather already. He's not better than Mayweather. If you think Crawford is better than Floyd, you're actually crazy, bro. Because Floyd, if you look at his record, yes, 50-0 is good, but look at the resume, buddy. Look at who he fought, the elite and champions that he's fought. He's fought more elite champions than any other boxer, and he's undefeated. And you're saying Crawford is better than Floyd? Get out of here.
Well, what's next?
But more respect, does go to Crawford though. Crawford is tough. He's him. I'm not saying he's not. He's him.
Happen to keep you informed, so make sure to subscribe, and I'll always keep you in the loop. Now, to go back a second, Fight Week didn't really bring up anything super unexpected. It was pretty much business as usual, and that's why I didn't end up covering it, because there was nothing huge to note. Except that the size difference between the two wasn't that large after all. Both looked the same size, and both did look in incredible shape. The venue for this fight was pretty impressive. This was the first ever boxing fight at the Allegiant Stadium. They packed tens of thousands of fans in, and it absolutely looked fantastic. Now, the undercard overall was so-so. Some great fights, yet some stinkers. But outside the main event, probably the most entertaining was the Martinez fight, so it's worth a watch if you did miss it. But undercard aside, everyone was only there for the main event. After months of hype and anticipation, the moment finally arrived. Crawford and Canelo standing across from each other, with only the referee Thomas Taylor in between. Now, the opening rounds were tense, with both fighters settling into a rhythm. Canelo, known as a notorious slow starter, did go to the body early, while Crawford's southpaw jab kept him in control of the distance. The first few rounds were close, but Crawford's sharper counters and combinations seemed to give him the edge early.
For sure.
Canelo tried to impose himself with those heavy body shots. By the middle rounds, the pace did pick up. Canelo continued digging into Crawford's...
The thing is, Crawford's more technical. Like, Canelo is technical too, but he's known for his punching power, which I was surprised it didn't really work on Crawford. Like, Crawford was, like, actually... He looked very, like... He looked like he's been fighting in his weight division for a while now. And it's not true. This is literally his first fight at that weight. And he looked sharp. He looked sharper than Canelo. I was watching the fight, and I just saw him near the end of the round just being so sharp. And Canelo, I already could tell Canelo already lost because he wasn't as sharp or as quick as Crawford was.
Canelo did have a better round in the 5th, but Crawford, not liking this, came out in the 6th, looking to retake control. He knew he had to impose himself to stop Canelo's forward momentum, and that he certainly did.
Bro, he stopped the whole momentum. He was getting so much good shots.
Canelo with sharp combinations, finding success on the inside and timing his left hand beautifully. An accidental clash of heads opened up a cut over Crawford's right eye in the 9th, giving Álvarez a glimmer of hope, but Bud remained composed. In the championship rounds, Crawford's confidence was clear, trading with Canelo on the inside, countering effectively and walking him into shots. By the 12th, it was obvious Canelo needed a knockout, but the moment never came. Crawford kept him at bay, landed crisp counters, and closed the show strong. After 12 rounds, the scorecards told the story. 116-112, 115-113, 115-113, a unanimous decision. Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Álvarez,
115-13,
undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. A historic moment as Bud cements his legacy by taking down the man who many consider to be the face of boxing. Crawford proved all his critics wrong. He took Canelo's power, stood there and traded with him, and had huge success in controlling the range. It was a competitive fight, but personally, I think Bud was the clear winner.
Look, man, I'm just gonna say this: Canelo, he's out of his prime for sure, and he's worn down. He's fought way more fighters, like 20 more fights than Crawford. Obviously, he's not gonna be 100%, bro. He's literally won 62 of those fights and lost 3 of those. I'm just making excuses now. I'm just making
Although Canelo
excuses.
did look better than he did against Skull, in my eyes, this performance had shades of the Skull performance. Canelo just struggled to catch Bud. Unless Canelo was standing there trading with him, Bud was just too slick and was able to evade much of what Canelo was trying to do. He wouldn't get stuck on the ropes, he wouldn't get stuck in the corner. His lateral movement, alike to Skull, just frustrated Canelo. Although, unlike Skull, his movement combined with his superior skills and willingness to even stand there and trade at times was his recipe to victory. This was the fight we all hoped for, a competitive bout which answered all of our questions. Yet simply put, Crawford outboxed Canelo. Really,
For
not
sure,
much
for
more is
sure,
needed to
for
be
sure.
said. Something also of note, which I don't think really was said enough during the broadcast, is
That doesn't ruin Canelo's legacy. I don't care what anyone says. It does not ruin his legacy. He was the face. Now Crawford is. Crawford right now for sure is better, but all time Canelo is better. I don't care what anyone says. Canelo was worn down. He's fought way more fights than Crawford. Fought way more elites and way more champions than Crawford. I don't care what anyone says. If you think Crawford just because he won this match is better than Canelo all time, you're crazy.
this is the first time that a male fighter has become a 3 division undisputed champion. This is an accolade you just can't understate, and he's done it all while remaining undefeated. Although, of course, the question now turns to what's next for both of them, and this is a tough question. I think retirement for both is something that sooner or later they will be staring down. At 35 and 37, it's going to come in the next few years. Do I think it happens? Canelo with sharp combinations, finding success on the inside and timing his left hand beautifully. An accidental clash of heads opened up a cut over Crawford's right eye in the ninth, giving
Why am I?
really was said enough during the broadcast is this is the first time that a male fighter has become a 3 division undisputed champion. This is an accolade you just can't understate, and he's done it all while remaining undefeated. Although, of course, the question now turns to what's next for both of them, and this is a tough question. I think retirement for both is something that sooner or later they will be staring.
Bro, this is honestly something I'm not ready for. I don't want this man to retire, bro. But yeah, I know he has to, bro. I know he has to. Oh, I miss my parlays, bro. I lost so much money. I bet 250 on his man to win, and he let me down. Uh,
At 35 and 37, it's going to come in the next few years. Do I think it happens next for either? No. For Crawford, this victory now opens him up to the casual market. His commercial value will never be higher than it is after this fight. Although he has been a mainstay at the higher end of the pound for pound for years, it's true he couldn't always sell. Yet this win opens him up to the world. Having this size of a show on Netflix and winning will make him a household name.
was this free on
Whatever comes
Netflix?
next for him will be massive. From a legacy perspective, if he sailed off into the sunset now, I would.
Wait, y'all who watch on Netflix, did you have to pay for the pay-per-view, or is this already like free on Netflix? Because I'm not gonna lie, I use I have methods to watch this shit for free.
You'd be mad. But I think the commercial
If you want to know my
aspect
methods, let me know.
really too strong to
I'll
leave.
DM you personally. I'll give you the
And from what
methods,
I've read,
the
there's
sites I
no rematch
use.
clause for this fight, which puts the power in Bud's hands. The rematch is the biggest bout commercially they could make for either fighter next. After this, I would assume that this fight has done well numbers-wise. So if it ticked all the right boxes for the Saudis in terms of promotion,
Oh, this
I could
is
see them
Saudi.
absolutely wanting to run it back. They have Canelo signed for one more fight, and the whole point of the Saudi involvement in boxing is to promote Saudi Arabia. That's why it's all branded Riyadh season. So putting Canelo against Bud again would of course do way better numbers than say putting him against a Eubank or an Mbili. In result, of course, it would have a more favourable return on investment. So honestly, I do see a rematch happening, unless somebody retires. Although,
Bro, I would love a rematch. I would love a rematch. Canelo, bro, you gotta prove. I mean, you don't need to prove anything. I'm gonna be honest. Canelo doesn't need to prove anything. He doesn't need a rematch. But I would love to see a rematch, though.
say the rematch doesn't happen, what other names could I see floating around which could be a possibility for either? Well, I think Hamza Shiraz is a name which will end up fighting one of them eventually. He's a Riyadh season darling, the promoters do love him. And it's clear to see that he's in line for his shot. And he's actually a good boxer too, most recently sparking out Belanga. And he's absolutely in line, so don't be surprised to see his name thrown about in the near future. In Billy could have been a chance if he won his fight, but unfortunately he probably will have to rematch Martinez. And Eubank, I don't think anyone wants to see that. I think either against Canelo or Bud, that would be a one-sided mess. So I hope that's not even a chance. Another interesting potential name, though, is Bivol.
If Crawford fight this man right here, Bilbao is winning. He's winning. He's winning. I don't care what anyone says. He's winning. He's winning.
So I hope that's not even a chance. Another interesting potential name, though, is Bivol, with Better BFC.
Bivol. I said his name wrong. If Crawford and Bivol fight, I 100% guarantee you Crawford is losing. I'm betting like 500 on him winning. Crawford is not beating him.
Moving on from their trilogy for the moment as Bivol recovers from surgery. If Bivol decides not to...
Oh, I forgot he had back surgery. Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised to see his name in the mix.
If Crawford fights him, Bivol is knocking him out. I don't even care. Bivol is beating that. I don't care what anyone says.
Yet he would have to move down to make that fight happen against Bud.
But he had back surgery too.
In the post-fight presser, Crawford did shut down a potential fight against Boots. So, I guess that's the end of that. But overall, I do see the rematch happening next. Although we shouldn't focus too much on the future, we have to appreciate the now. Crawford put on a performance which has sent shockwaves through the boxing world. He has made a case for himself for being the best of this generation. And a 3-weight undisputed champion might be a thing we never see again. He chased greatness, and he pulled it off.
Look, I'm gonna give Crawford his flowers, bro. He's him. I never said he wasn't. I'm just trying to stop the delusional fans thinking he's like the greatest of all time. That's what I'm trying to do. But I still respect him, and I still see that he's him. He's not better than Floyd, and he's not better than Canelo all time. Right now, he's better than Canelo, but not all time, no. But he still gets my respect because he's the only one to be undisputed in 3 different weight classes, 3 different divisions.
It was a great night for Crawford and a great night for boxing. Nights like these prove the hunger for the sport is still well alive. And simply no other sport can replicate the feeling of big boxing fight nights. But now, as always, I want to hear what you think at home. What were your scorecards? What did you think of their performances?
Look, it was good at the beginning, man, but like, and then bro, Crawford just like finished it, and then by that time, bro, it was by the 7th and 8th round, I already knew Canelo wasn't coming back from it. But I'm glad this fight was actually entertaining because we literally have been disappointed with so many fights even recently, like the Ryan and Rolly fight. That shit was boring. I'm sorry, but that whole event was so bad. That oh my god, Devin Haney was running away the whole time. Ryan, as soon as he got knocked out, like not knocked out, but as soon as he got like felt Rolly's power, he did not press him at all. He was just surviving. He was in survival mode. But this fight was good though. I would love a rematch. Is it gonna happen? I feel like Canelo doesn't really need a rematch. He's already done so much for boxing. I feel like I don't know. Crawford though, same for Crawford too. I don't think Crawford needs to fight another. He's already proven himself. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Let me know what y'all want me to react to next. And if y'all want my methods, y'all sue me up DM. I'm the plug when it comes to pirate shit. All right, catch y'all.